Hello, myself Jitesh, and today we will tell you the implementation of service discovery. Okay, so let's start. But before that, we will tell you what we are going to achieve. Okay, so here what we are going to achieve, we will create a server. This is server, and we will create two clients. This is client 1 and this is client 2. So we will communicate between here to there, or simply we will communicate one direction. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are creating a service, we are creating the project. We are creating a project. This is a Spring Boot project. Spring Boot project, and this project we will register into server with the name of the client 1. This is the another project. This is the another Spring Boot project 2. Okay, we will register with the name school. As we already created a Spring Boot project, so we can use this project. Okay, and also we need to create another Spring Boot project, Spring Boot project 3, which is the type of server which we can treat as a server. Okay, so here we are creating one project. This is second project, and this is third project. So we are creating three project which are interconnected. Okay, so let's start from the IDE level. Okay, for the server creation, we need to some how we are creating. I will show you how I show you. Here you can see Spring initializer. Spring initializer. From the Spring initializer, we create a project Maven, Java, Spring Boot, and your group ID, jar, or what dependencies we need to add. We need to add here dependency is the Eureka server. Here we need to add dependency Eureka server. If we add Eureka server, explore it, we can see which dependency it will add. Okay, so it will add basically two dependencies. The first one is, this is the main dependency, Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka server. Okay, so this dependency we need to add. This is the Eureka server, and also we need to add dependency, or simply we can generate this project. Okay, once it is generated and imported, this looks like this way, Eureka server. You can see here pom.xml. In the pom.xml, simply I just created Eureka server with the dependency Eureka server, and here I imported this project. But we need to do some settings. What setting we need to do? Open Eureka server application.java. This is my project name, Eureka server. Okay. Once we imported this project, this enable Eureka server is not present. We need to explicitly tell this server, explicitly tell to this project, hey, Spring Boot, enable Eureka server only. That's it. Our Eureka server is running properly. Okay. Another thing we need to do, we need to have application.properties file. Even we can use application.properties, more recommended application.yml. Anything you can use, but this is the some syntactical differences in YML and properties. Both are the same. We need to put server.port. This is the server.port 8761, which is globally. Even we can change it if we are not using this one, because previous versions Eureka server supported this port. Okay, now we can use default 8080 also, no issue, but we need to explicitly mention all the clients to use 8080. If we are not putting 8080, it will pick this is the default port. Okay, and also we need to say this is the Eureka server, don't treat as a client. So basically Eureka server is a type of client also. This is the registry with Eureka false. Itself it can be used as a client? No, don't use. Fetch registry? No, don't fetch. So this is telling Eureka client, don't use as a Eureka client. So let's start this server. Run as Java application. Okay, once we started Java application, by default no active profile set. Later we will see how different profile we will add. Okay, so here there is a different server like config server and config client. Also there is a terminology we can use to different property file we can use within the same project. This is the latter thing we will explore more. So first of all we will see Eureka server. So now our Eureka server is started. Okay, go to the official website. Eureka server official website. You can read also, you can read these things also, so you can easily understand how to create easily. Okay, I always recommend of gone through the official website, gone to the official note, so that you can learn a lot. Okay, so our let's see, yeah, my server is started. Let's test it is running or not. Localhost colon 8761. Let's see, localhost 8761. It is Eureka server. By default is have a UI option. So there is nothing application instance registered with server. There is no application is registered with server. Now we are going to create a new client. Okay, now our server is started. We are going to create a client. For the client specific thing, go to the Spring Initializer. Same thing we need to do. Here we need to add Eureka client or simply client. Eureka discovery client. You can see now Eureka discovery client. This thing we need to add, and also we need to add web, reactive web and Spring Web also. So these three minimum repository, minimum dependencies we need to add. Okay, so if we gone through, I already imported this project. If you open this form.xml, we have a starter web, we have a starter web flex. This is the reactive and this is the Eureka client, and also we have dependencies of the cloud platform. So this is also dependency management, it is added. We have a cloud version, this cloud version we are added. So three dependencies we need to import, and same project as we created a school project previously, we can do any project, any Spring Boot project is, if it is a web type, we add a Eureka client and it is created as a client. Okay, so what changes here we need to do? This is the Eureka client application. Okay, nothing changed as it is. I created one configuration class. It is my configuration. I loaded bean, REST template. Why we need to use REST template? We are calling explicitly from the REST service. REST service is, this is a school. I can show you this also. If we hit manually, it is from the client 1. My configuration, in the I created a bean of the REST template. Which kind of load balance? We need to put additionally load balance in the top of the REST template. Why we load balance? If we put at the load balance, it will fetch all the information which is available into the server, so that REST template have the information which type server or which type which application name is deployed into the server. Okay, what application name we can put? Here application property, we can put Eureka client. Eureka client, we can put the name 8081. Another thing, by default port 8080, if we are not putting it, maybe you face port is already in use, so use 8080, 8081 or 8283, whatever you want, you can use it. Okay, so just I am running this application, but before that let's start our old application, that is the school application. Some modification we added, I will show you. If you open pom.xml and what changes we did, because this file is committed into Git, so we can compare into head revision what changes we did. Here also you can see now a Spring Cloud version we added new thing. Another thing is Eureka client I added, and also I added cloud dependencies. Nothing special I added, only 3 things which client we need to add. So I am running Spring Cloud application. I am running school application. Let's start a school application. Write as run as Java application. Once it is started, I will show you it is registered into Eureka server or not. Also I did some changes. External API call controller. For your testing purpose I created this only. If we hit localhost 8080, so this is come from the school project. Okay, now running application is started. Let's see application is running or not. First of all check here, localhost 8080, localhost 8080. Yeah, from school project. So school project is running successfully. Let's test, is under Eureka server it is registered or not. Just refresh it. You can see now this is a school application, it is registered here. School application name comes from the application.properties which I given spring dot application dot name is equal to school. You can see it here. You can see it here also. Under resources, application.properties, application.spring.application.name is equal to school. Okay, so it is added here also, right? So this application is running successfully. Now execute this another client which is the I created recently. So Eureka application 1, right click, run as Java application. So now this application is also executed. Let's check it is registered here or not. Previously is school, now let's check Eureka client application is registered or not. Refresh it. You can see Eureka client is also registered with the Eureka server. So it is the Eureka client 1. I already put the name Eureka client 1. So it is coming Eureka client 1. Now test this one. Localhost 8081, which is this application, localhost 8081, hit Okay, so from client 1, it is coming. Now we are testing from school project. Previously what we need to do? We need to do https localhost 8081 8080 slash, instead of I given local slash school only. So let's see it is running or not. Slash from school. I have hit. This is coming from the school project. This string where present? This string present in here. School project. Externalize API controller. This is the return. If we change something here, it will return here also. So this is the way. Instead, previous cases, what we are using previous case we can use here this one also, localhost colon 8080 slash. If we are using, we are getting same response. Instead of putting the host name, I just put only service name, which service name goes to the Eureka server, and Eureka server find out particular link. Okay, so we are adding here. Got it? Okay, so in this video we see how we create Eureka server. Also how we create Eureka client, how to register, and doing some operations in between two communication. What communication we did? From the Eureka client 1 application, I call the service of the school service, which is another type of the client. So you can say this is the client 2. So I am calling client 1 to client 2 with the help of Eureka server. Okay. So I hope you got this point. Another things we will come up with the next emerging topics. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.